Chosen ones, the time has come. For too long you have waited in the shadows. You have been tested, you have been silenced. But now your name is being heard. You stand on the stage of history, in front of those who dare to ignore you. A strong voice is echoing, judgment. As he entered the light, the room seemed to shrink, his presence unquestionably imposing. He was the embodiment of authority and will. His enemies were slow to recognize his power. They despised him, just like you. But now, they had nowhere to run. Those who disregarded you, those who usurped your rights, those who traveled deceitfully, they tremble before you today. Those who betrayed you are now facing their own betrayal. They can see the fire in your eyes, the strength in your steps. There is no longer any bargain or mercy for them. The traps they set to stop your rise are now around their necks. I want you to take a deep breath before we continue. When you do these three things, your energy and your intention will be strengthened, sending a powerful signal to the universe. Press the like button, subscribe so we can reach 10,000 subscribers, and leave a comment saying, "Jesus, I am ready." They have turned your friends against you. They have slandered your name. They watched your pain with glee, but you did not bow down. Chosen ones, now the stage is yours. The strong man has spoken and the world will bear witness. You have been chosen. They reveled in every rumor, every deliberate betrayal, and every brutal attack. They believed they were stronger by acting in large numbers. They closed in on you, suffocating you with their hatred. They built walls of manipulation, trapping you in a maze of lies. They wanted you to be defeated, alone and helpless. However, the judiciary is observing. Its gaze cuts through their scheming and the rottenness that lies behind their shiny exteriors. It observes their resentment, their jealousy, and their mad desire to subjugate things beyond their control. He feels bad when he sees them, pathetic, weak and cowardly. They have never fought a just war. They were never alone. They always attacked from a distance where they believed they were safe, always in the shadows, always behind masks. They assumed you could not defend yourself. They told themselves that you do not exist. However, their time is up. Their kind is not tolerated by the judiciary. It does not accept justifications. If you are moved by divine inspiration and want to contribute to God's victory on earth, act now. Make a generous contribution of $50 or more by clicking on the Super Thank button below. Remember that this is not just a contribution, but a step towards sharing God's light. It will not back down despite their desperate efforts and false cries to change history. It has already made up its mind. Their transgressions are exposed as devoid of any rationalization. The merciless light exposes their depravity. They are crushed under the weight of their depravity and are sucked into the pit they dug for you earlier. They have received a warning. They had every opportunity to come back. They decided not to return. As a result, he decides not to forgive. This man is not impressed by meaningless excuses. He does not feel sorry for those who take pleasure in causing destruction. Enter 77 right now to awaken your energies and discover the secrets of your soul. His contempt is a fire that eats away at the fabric of their lies. It is not passive. When they look at him, they are looking for a lifeline, but it is not at all. Instead, the walls they erected to surround you close in on you. It is dead. The murmurs they used to emit now echo as condemnation. They are now greeted with disgust rather than respect by the people they once ruled. They are rotting from the inside out. You are here for a reason. If you feel chosen, it is time to answer the call. By clicking the Join button, you can access deep insights, unique information, and a powerful community willing to accompany you on your journey. This is an opportunity to fully embrace your divine destiny and seize the path designed for you. It is more than just a membership. Do not hesitate. Step forward and become one of the chosen ones. They believed that their actions would have no repercussions and that they could play their games, play with lives, and escape unharmed. They saw strength in their ruthlessness. However, they failed to escape the mirror of judgment. They have to face who they really are for the first time, and they cannot stand it. They believed you were weak. They thought your patience meant giving up and mocked your silence. They thought they were invincible because of their numbers, their power, and their plans. You were just a pawn to them, something to be exploited, discarded, and forgotten. They were wrong. You were never alone. The security that surrounded you was invisible to them. They ignored the warnings because they were blind to the factors working in your favor. They didn't know the judiciary was looking, so they played their game in the dark. Their illusions are now crumbling. Like sand, the power they once held is slipping away. Their carefully crafted lies are crumbling under the weight of reality. Fear, a foreign emotion, has replaced their trust. They never thought this day would come. They never imagined this day would come. You were supposed to be buried under them, buried by their deception, but instead, you stood up. They misjudged the individual. You were never weak. You were never helpless. They only saw what they wanted to see. A person who was easy to control and easy to shatter. However, they were unaware of your true identity, chosen, safe, and unstoppable. All their fictions were fake. Their authority was a borrowed mirage, their success stolen. They walked proudly, confident that no one would notice their fraud. But judgment does not cancel debts. Every hurtful word, betrayal, and harm they cause comes back threefold. Now the roles are reversed, and they find themselves trapped in a world they don't accept. Now they see. The murmurs have changed. Instead of the respect they used to receive, they are now despised. They are seen differently by various people. Their hitherto loyal supporters are turning against them. They are losing everything, including control and land. They have failed because of their arrogance. They believed they could silence all those who oppose them, that they could change the facts and undo the crimes they committed. But truth never gives up. It does not give in to their demands. It is indisputable and stands against them. Write the number 88 in the comments to let the cosmos know you are ready. For a very long time, they believed in their own superiority. But when the foundation collapses, superiority is meaningless. They are watching the cracks grow under their feet, and they are watching it happen. No escape is possible. No more deception. No more lies. No more illusions. The game is over. They have built everything on your death. They are completely confident in their capacity for deception, manipulation, and control. However, they made a mistake. They failed to anticipate the opposition. A showdown was never something they planned. Their biggest mistake was not only underestimating you, but also thinking they could get away with it. They cannot stop this kind of repercussions that have now taken place. If they underestimated the wrong person, the curtain is coming down. Leave a comment like, "They never saw me coming." Their meticulously constructed illusion is crumbling. The truth that has been hidden behind lies for so long is now coming out. No more hiding. No more pretending to be someone you are not. There is nowhere to run, and the whole world is watching. They used lies to gain power. They were in charge of the narrative, manipulating reality and facts to suit their purposes. Speaking confidently, they weaved lies so skillfully that even they themselves began to believe them. But truth never gives up. It cannot be silenced. It cannot be eliminated. It bides its time, lurking calmly beneath the surface. Now it is rising, tearing through the silk like a sword, piercing through their fabrications. The masks are falling one by one. Their lies are exposed. Their allies are retreating, no longer willing to defend them. Their fans pause, doubting what they thought they knew before. They are losing control. Their fingers are falling off the cliff, They no longer have credibility. They are seen by others as cowards, liars, and manipulators who get rich by hiding. Their quest for respect has turned into humiliation. Their beloved influence is being eroded. Gossip has begun. They are now criticized by the voices they use to control. The same audience that once supported them now looks at them with disdain. Their reckless use of power ultimately led to their downfall. They misjudged the truth. They believed that their lie would be permanent, and that they could bury it forever. But truth is unyielding. It does not shatter. It waits for the ideal opportunity to present itself. And now that time has come. Their death is not silent. It is not forgiving. It is harsh, loud, and brutal. Every lie is brought to light. Every false claim crumbles under close scrutiny. No defense is available. There is no way to escape being judged by the very people they have lied to before. Their manipulative empire is shattered. They abandon the people under their power and let them drown in their own shame. They have fought a fierce battle to hide the truth, but they could never control the truth. They believed they could not be touched. They believed they were invincible. They thought their lies would never be exposed. They were wrong. They lost everything they created. The way the world perceives them now will never be the same. Let us take a moment now to honor those who were born to stand out and never intended to fit in. Here's to the chosen ones, the unseen forces, the dark watchers, the ever-vigilant, the visionaries. To those who think outside the box, act differently, and notice what others fail to notice. They create their own path. They don't take the easy way out. They fight invisible forces, shatter illusions, and change the course of history. Few dare to walk this path, and that is precisely why they do it. The punishment has been handed out. There is no bargaining here, no appeals, no second chances, and no way out. Their fate is sealed by the consequences of their own actions. This is God's justice. It happens quickly, without hesitation. It does not hesitate, does not waver, and does not give in to cries of despair. It is not possible to reverse what has been initiated. They feel it, a force greater than themselves, crushing and consuming. A decision they cannot override. They mocked it, they conspired, they reveled in their brutality. However, judgment is not blind. It wasn't. One punch after another, relentless, inevitable. Their deaths approaching. Doors are slammed. Possibilities vanish. Support is being cut off. Every progress is opposed. Every effort to improve ends in failure. They have no authority. Nothing is effective. Nothing changes their current course. Gradual, unbearable decline is something they see and feel. As the ground cracks beneath them, they create their own abyss. This is karma. Every word they use against you, every action intended to shatter you, every plan intended to destroy you, comes back to them heavier, sharper, and more cruelly than they can imagine. They make an effort to resist it. They struggle to grasp and claw at their diminishing strength. However, they lose their grip. The more they struggle, the deeper they sink. A sense of regret arises. There is no more laughter. The arrogance is gone. All that remains is the heartbreaking knowledge that they caused it. They are convinced that they are in control. But manipulation cannot influence divine judgment. It is not accountable to them. It does not care about their excuses or their frantic efforts to change history. What is done is done. There is no love left, no pity for people who have not thought twice about destroying others, and no mercy for the unrepentant. They are drowned not by water, but by the weight of their own deeds, their own evil, and their own mistakes. The shackles that pull them down are precisely what they believe to be their power. They reckon with that. It all comes back to the beginning, the suffering they caused, the lives they tried to destroy. Now they are consumed by the energy they spent on destruction. They will not be saved by anyone. They no longer have the same individuals they deceived, dominated, and exploited. They are trapped in the chaos they caused, and they are alone. They have believed that they cannot be touched. But everyone is subject to the law. No one is completely free from reflections. No one can hide the truth forever. Their allotted time is up. The divine decision has been made and cannot be reversed. Everything they have built is in ruins. The web of lies, the illusions that they have carefully woven around you, all of it has come crashing down. You are no longer seen by the world through the distorted prism of their manipulations. Their power has faded into oblivion as the truth has come to light. They made an attempt to bury you. They spread rumors, distorted the truth, and incited others against you. They wanted you to be forgotten, defeated, and alone. But their plans failed. Every plan, every rumor, every accusation, and every deliberate betrayal failed in unexpected ways. You emerged from the flames intact. You no longer bow your heads as you walk. You no longer carry the burden of their brutality. You no longer bear the weight of their lies. After all, it was never yours. It was always theirs. And now it is coming back to them tenfold. People who used to criticize you are now silent. Those who used to turn their backs are now changing their minds. Their fabricated stories are no longer effective. Before their own eyes, their once unshakable influence is crumbling. You have triumphed, not only by surviving but also by remaining silent. You have triumphed in a way they never expected, with unquestionable success and relentless progress. You have grown stronger as a result of their repeated attempts to destroy you. They underestimated you, which was their biggest mistake. They thought you were weak because you were patient. They thought you were being naive. They thought they could change you. They thought they could destroy you. They thought they could tear you to pieces. On the contrary, they were made to see you rise. And this is the biggest source of their suffering. They see that you are good. They see that you are taking back everything they tried to take from you, including your influence, your trust, and your reputation. Everything and more is coming back. They tried to seal every door, but each one has opened wider than before. Every chance they blocked, they have increased. You are no longer the one they tortured. You have assumed your authority. You are now untouchable. They are no longer in control of the story. They are waking up those they deceived. Those who once believed their lies now doubt everything. Their influence is waning. They are losing their influence over other people. Instead of the respect they once enjoyed, they are now despised. Their death is gradual, painful, and brutal. They see with horror that everything has returned to normal. Their victory is lost. Their plans have failed. They are now the ones whispered about. The guilt of their own choices keeps them awake at night. You were supposed to be beneath them. Instead, they have to see you rise. They regret everything. They regret saying your name. They regret that they tried to destroy you. They wish they had never targeted you. But it is too late for regrets. They started this. They have made their decision. Their fate is sealed. What about your destiny? You have won. Okay. Suddenly it comes out. A change in the atmosphere. A burden crashing down on them. A moment when the truth hits them with terrible force. They were defeated. The truth is hard and icy. It seeps into their lungs, sits on their chests, and takes their breath away. They try to deny it, to maintain the appearance that they are still in control. But the truth cannot be denied. Everything is disappearing. They lose their confidence, their arrogance, and their belief in their own invincibility. They are now viewed with suspicion by the same people who used to stand by them. The respect they used to have is replaced by silent contempt. And silence is the hardest. No more rumors in their favor. No more allies rushing to their defense. No more admiring glances. The narrative is no longer dictated by them. They no longer hold the reins of power. You can see that they are afraid. They wave their hands. Their voices stutter. They feel more pressure for their actions than they can imagine. Every decision they make, every plan they implement, every hurtful word they say, it all comes back to haunt them like a ghost. The people they lied to have rejected them. Their motives are ignored. No one believes their stories. They are now vulnerable because the authority they once had over others has dissipated. The same trick that used to work so well no longer works. They have misjudged the truth. They believed they could change it, bury it, and rewrite it to suit their purposes. But truth is harder to destroy. It is permanent. It expands. It waits for the ideal opportunity to escape. That time is now. Their death is no longer hypothetical, but a reality. They have no control over it, and they see it happening in real time. Every effort to regain control is like sand slipping through their fingers. Desperation overtakes them. They rush to find a way out. They look for someone, anyone, to save them. But no one shows up. They no longer have allies they trusted. The influence they had before has vanished into dust. They are trapped in a mess of their own making, trapped in the repercussions of their own actions, trapped in the painful and inescapable fact that they are no longer feared, respected, and untouchable. Their worst fears have been realized. They are no longer the hunter, but the hunted. They have fallen. They are no longer rulers. They have been left in the ruins of their own making, while the world they tried to rule continues on its way without them. A wave of regret washes over them. If only they had taken a different approach. They wish they had chosen a different path. If only they had never betrayed you, called you by name, or targeted you. However, desires are meaningless. What is done is done. The damage done cannot be undone. Losses cannot be reversed. They have been defeated. And this time, there is no going back. Every attempt they make will fail. Everything breaks down, including last-ditch efforts, desperate maneuvers, and desperate attempts to regain control. Nothing is effective. Nothing can save them. The game they have been playing for so long is over, and the walls are closing in. This is the final blow. It cannot be undone. There is no ingenious way out, no way to change what is written. They are ruined. Their power has been taken away. Their dignity is destroyed. They are exposed. The illusions they created, the lies they told, and the masks they wore are irreparably destroyed. Now that the world can see them clearly, there is no denying the truth. They have become outcasts that people shun and talk about in low tones. Once they attracted attention. Now they are only an inconvenience. No one wants to be associated with them. No one wants to find themselves stranded on their sinking ship. Their own decisions, their own dishonesty, and their own arrogance are drowning them, not the water. The power of truth was underestimated, and now it has swallowed them up. No one trusts them anymore. Everything they say is viewed with suspicion. All attempts at redemption are rejected. They have destroyed too many bridges and played too many games. They have done irreparable damage. They are completely isolated. They have distanced themselves from the people they manipulated. Those under their control have fled. They have lost the people they believed would always be there for them. They make an effort to defend themselves, but every step they take throws them further into turmoil. They cannot hold on to anything as they try to regain the power they once had. They no longer have any influence. Their voices have lost their power. The silence is overwhelming. No more compliments, no more devotion, no more praise. Others no longer respect them. They no longer hold the reins of power. Their end has come. No story of redemption, no moment of triumph, no story of return. This is a permanent exile, rather than a brief fall from grace. It is all over for them. The dignity they so desperately seek, the power they wielded, the terror they evoked. Everything is dust now. They are forgotten, insignificant, and helpless. Once the tables are turned, there's no going back. They believed they could not be touched. They believed their game would never end. They believed they would never have to deal with the consequences. However, the judiciary is not forgetful. The final blow has been dealt. This time, there is no turning back. If what you have read has motivated you, and you want to learn more about the incredible potential within you, don't forget to click the subscribe button. There is more to this journey than just observing. To get involved, donate over $50 by clicking the Super Thank button below. We want you to be part of the change that is happening. Like, comment, and share to give this message to someone who needs to hear it today. Let's share the message that when God is involved, anything is possible. Be part of the community as together we rewrite the possibilities for our lives. Stay awake, be fortunate, and never forget that you are a living example of God's grace.